At dawn, the religious leaders conspired to hand Jesus over to Pontius Pilate, the Roman governor. Bound and accused, Jesus stands silently as false charges pile against him. Pilate, perplexed, questions Jesus. "Are you the king of the Jews?" Jesus affirms, but his restraint in the face of injustice astonishes the crowd. Meanwhile, Judas Iscariot, overwhelmed with guilt for betraying innocent blood, returns the 30 pieces of silver to the temple and takes his own life in despair. In an effort to avoid condemning an innocent man, Pilate presents the crowd with a choice: release Jesus or the notorious prisoner Barabbas. The crowd, incited by the chief priests, cries out for Barabbas. Pilate, bewildered, asks, "What then shall I do with Jesus who is called Christ?" The mob roars, "Let him be crucified." Despite his symbolic washing of hands, declaring innocence, Pilate succumbs to the pressure, handing Jesus over for scourging and crucifixion. Roman soldiers strip Jesus, clothe him in a scarlet robe, and press a twisted crown of thorns onto his head. They mockingly kneel before him, declaring, "Hail, King of the Jews." They spit on him and strike him, before forcing him to carry his cross to Golgotha, the place of the skull. At Golgotha, they offer Jesus wine mixed with gall, but he refuses. The soldiers crucify him, nailing his hands and feet to the cross. Above his head, they place a sign reading, "This is Jesus, the King of the Jews." On either side of him, two criminals hang. One mocks, but the other, penitent, turns to Jesus. The crowd watches in scorn as Jesus suffers, crying out, "He saved others, himself he cannot save." As darkness falls over the land from noon until the ninth hour, Jesus cries out, my God, why have you forsaken me?" With a loud voice, he yields his spirit, and in that moment, the earth quakes, rocks split, and the temple veil tears from top to bottom, a divine declaration that the way to God is now open. The centurion and those guarding Jesus tremble at the sight, proclaiming, "Truly, this was the Son of God." Joseph of Arimathea, a secret disciple, boldly requests Jesus' body. Wrapping it in clean linen, he places it in a new tomb carved out of rock. A large stone is rolled in front of the entrance. Meanwhile, the chief priests, remembering Jesus' prophecy of resurrection, convince Pilate to secure the tomb with guards, fearing his disciples might steal the body and claim he had risen.